Oh, yes, here we go again, everybody. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. You are joining us here on this Tuesday morning, afternoon, evening, potentially even Wednesday morning, if you are in a certain part of the world, to join us for the vidIQ channel audit live stream. You are here with your host, Rob, and I will be guiding you through the next couple of hours as we open our doors and welcome you into our forum, our town hall, our classroom to educate, entertain, inform, and possibly get a little bit emotional about your channels. We are the YouTube Learning Academy. We have a YouTube channel and we have a YouTube software that educates you on your YouTube journey. And that's what we'll be doing. I want to welcome you all here. And as always, we have a wonderful collection of guests, but a slight different collection of guests today because right now in LA, there is a conference going on that's called Vid Summit. I unfortunately couldn't be there due to travel restrictions, so that's why I'm still here in my office here in Vancouver for the live stream. But the likes of El Jelly, Jeff is there. We also have Travis, who is at that conference. And strangely, I don't know if this is some sort of coincidence, but Savage is also there as well. I don't know if there's a connection there between Travis and Savage, but there you go. So in their absence, we're going to invite our regular gaming expert who took a break last week. Dan, I want to say, first of all, thank you very much for holding the fort and steering the ship in my absence, and welcome back to the channel live streams. How are you? Or are you just busy playing on Animal Crossing?
I'm good. How are you?
All right, I'm awesome, Dan. I'm feeling very refreshed, and thank you for your wonderful live streaming over the last couple of weeks. Really is appreciated. It's kind of the usual yin and yang duo back here, and I guess we'll probably be doing a live stream tomorrow as well. But we have a very special guest joining us this week. We often have vidIQ partners, but today we have one of our in-house channel auditors, and I like to describe this person as the man, the myth, the legend, the person who has all sorts of YouTube channels doing experiments and getting millions of views, and he kind of teases us these in communications, but we never actually see these channels, but maybe we will do after this live stream, I don't know. But also, this person has, I would say, the worst webcam framing in the world. It is, as always, Alexei, who always covers the bottom half of his frame, but it's kind of become like a part of him now. You know, it is how we know Alexei, the man with the awesome webcam. How are you, Alexei? Welcome. And I don't mean to, I mean, this is whole banter. We know of all the people who would give sage advice, I think yours is the most calming, the most intellectual, and sometimes the most thought-provoking.
Yeah, appreciate the introduction, Rob. Thank you for the invite, of course, and I'm excited to be here, and just looking forward to the live stream.
Yeah, aren't we all, as always? Just before we jump into the live stream channel audits, I think it's time to say a couple of hellos. So I'm going to start with Brian Ketteran is in the house. Also, hello to Bori Piano. I do remember auditing your channel in the past. We've got somebody who's officially welcoming in Alexei here, Toast with Jaime, I'm going to pronounce that. Apologies, by the way, if we pronounce any of your channel names incorrectly during this live stream. That is also part of our, I guess, MO, in that we are terrible at channel pronunciations. And finally, I'm going to say hello to Antonio Beast Mode in the house as well. Dan, it's your turn to say hello to some of our awesome community.
I will say hello to Fab with 2 A's. I'll say hello to Link1138 Gaming. I will say hello to, once I refresh the chat, how about Defrado? I think that was
from Croatia as well. And then let's give some shout outs as well from you, Alexei. We'll put them on screen to make it easy for you to say hello to the following people.
Yeah, I'm saying hello to Influential Finance, a wink to you as well. Absolute Mix D, hi to you as well. DT Tech Twins, what's up? Hello to you as well. Tech DNA, the Gadget channel. Hello, guys. Well, hello to you too. And Sioski Baja from Serbia. Hi there.
Oh, you tackled that name just like so effortlessly. It was brilliant there. All right. So hello to all of you and everybody else who joins through this live stream. Now, as always, we have many new visitors to this live stream every single week. And you're probably wondering how all of this works. And we're going to explain in exactly 60 seconds. Welcome to the vidIQ channel audit livestream, where we review your YouTube channels. There are 2 links in the description, one for gaming channels, one for non-gaming channels. Make sure you submit every week as we clear the form after every livestream. Channel audits are 100% free, so please don't send us any super chats expecting to receive an audit. And don't waste your time asking for one in the chat. If there are any alternative ways to get picked for an audit, such as memes, we will let you know during the livestream. If we can't audit your channel today, vidIQ has a channel audit tool working 24/7 for you. If you haven't already installed vidIQ, download it now for free. A link is in the description, and make sure to take advantage of our free 30-day trial. If you submit your channel for audit, expect the following. We are sharing nothing more than our knowledge, our experience, and our passion as fellow YouTube creators. It's up to you whether or not you take our advice. There are tons of links to lots of useful resources in the video description. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already done so. Share this live stream with another fellow creator who may find it useful. And finally, moderators, thank you for everything that you do every single week. All right, let's do this. I've just realized in that explainer video in the background there, it showed the YouTube play button with 700,000 subscribers on it. That needs a little bit more updating because hopefully we'll be able to replace that with a gold button very, very soon. Thank you, by the way, if you do press that red subscribe button today and help us on that journey, which we're thinking is probably going to arrive end of next month, maybe the beginning of November. A little bit of housekeeping before we jump into the live stream channel audits. As always, for the last 18 months now, we've continued to support the COVID-19 Solidarity Response Fund with Super Chat. So any donations go directly to that cause. Thank you in advance. I think we've raised over $2,000 for that fund over time, which is awesome. Thank you for everybody who's contributed to that. Also, we audit a lot of channels every single week, between 20 and 30, but we get 10 times, if 20 times that number of submissions. So unfortunately, we can't audit every single channel, but it's not just about you and your channel. It's about the community as a whole. So what I recommend you do is load up your channel on a second screen if you can do. And then when either myself, Dan, or Alexi are talking about fundamentals that we so often do, these often apply to your channel. So think about when we're talking about focus for a cooking channel, that kind of strategy may also apply to your gaming channel in the broader context. And finally, we are, of course, not just a channel audit service on the YouTube channel. We are a suite of YouTube tools that will help you grow every single day. From the channel audit tool, competitors, keywords, research, and so on. You can see them all down the left-hand side here. But what we are most proud to share with you in the last couple of weeks is our daily ideas tool, which is going to analyze your channel and based off of machine learning, starts to suggest ideas for your channel. For example, I'm looking today at maybe an idea on YouTube categories. We've done some successful videos on the past in that. And I could look at my list of ideas and see that we have up to 50 suggestions for every single day. And this will continue to improve and learn about your channel as you continue to publish more and more videos. I see in the voting poll here that 68% of you have already tried this tool. Do please feedback to us on this tool. And those 32% who haven't yet tried it, then check out the links in the description to download the software as a free month trial, or the very special offer that we have on right now is you can get 40% off vidIQ Boost until the end of this month. So check out the link on that ticker as you're seeing it scroll across the bottom. We've also got a direct link in the video description, and you'll find all of the details on how to get 40% off vidIQ Boost if you are a brand new customer. But with all of that being said, Dan and Alexi, are you ready to tackle the first channel that we're going to audit today?
Let's get it.
Let's get it.
Oh, wow, let's get it. Let's hunt it down. All right, then, Dan, you are ready to jump into this. So I'll let you lead with the first channel that's submitted this week in the form, and that is MST distro reviews. First impressions, what are you seeing here?
Okay, it says weekly Linux videos. So it's a very technical channel for, I would say, a very specific audience, just based on the banner. And then looking at the thumbnails, based on the thumbnails. I wish I knew more about Linux. I wish I knew more about the type of content somebody who has installed Linux might be searching for if they're having trouble or something like that. So probably a lot of value in these videos, I would assume. But then again, we got like a 43-second one there. Is that a short? I'm not sure. DIY Minecraft server, which I would say is okay. That very specific audience there. Somebody, I guess, with Linux trying to do their own Minecraft server. Is that going to attract the audience they're looking for? Boy, oh boy, there's a lot of stuff here.
It's dense, isn't it? But like you, Dan, I'm not an expert in Linux or sometimes Linux. I sometimes say it that way. Is it purely focused on a particular area of that coding or software? Because I almost think of Linux as like Mac OS, Windows, and then Linux as like a different operating system. And so it's quite broad. But then I see like the very latest video was something to do with Plex. And as far as I'm aware, that's not necessarily a Linux-centric program. It may be, but I always think of Plex as a video hosting server type piece of software. And I'm not sure where the connection is back to Linux, especially because it's not in the thumbnail or the title. And I'm seeing a lot of Raspberry Pi, which is much more to do with hardware and programming on there. And I'm just wondering if this is perhaps a little broad as a channel. I know they're in early days, 25 subscribers. They've been publishing for around about 6 months. But I feel, and this is where we go back to one of the fundamentals already, maybe channel focus is a little bit lacking here.
It could be. It's hard to say because maybe they're trying to be a repository for anything you could possibly want to know if you happen to be a Linux user. But as I understand with Linux, it's not just the Linux operating system. It's Linux, but then there's all these different skins that basically go on it, right? That have different names, like Ubuntu, for example, and things like that. So, it's just, I feel like their net is very, very wide right now. And all these videos on their own might see some, search juice, which would be great. But are you going to build a base of returning viewers who are going to come back week after week to see your next video on the subject? And this is probably the case for a lot of channels like this. The answer is no, but maybe that's okay. I'd love to get some additional thoughts on that, because I would hate to tell this channel, well, you just need to focus on like this one tiny aspect, when clearly they have a lot of different things they're trying to share. And it's not like the channel is one day doing a Linux tutorial and then the next day playing a game. There is a focus here. It's just very broad.
Now, Alexia, I do want to bring you in if you have knowledge of this area, but if you're not knowledgeable of Linux in terms of a channel focus, is there anything else that you're spotting here, whether it be thumbnails or maybe video length? I've noticed that the video lengths here are relatively short, which seems like a good approach for a tutorial channel, but they haven't quite picked up any traction just yet.
So I don't have any knowledge in Linux, but I have to agree with pretty much everything you guys said. And just to pick up on some points that are important, this channel could work as a repository. People have different questions and they find these very specific videos. And there are channels like this that don't necessarily have a focus and who just exist, successfully exist with just pulling search traffic constantly on all kinds of things. So this could work. The downside of that is that, as Dan said, you won't have a lot of returning viewers, but like returning viewers is a very important thing, but it's not like you can live without it, as long as you constantly pump out content that is bound to attract some search traffic, a long term. So,
now, I mean, very small sample size, but what I've seen here is when this channel looks at this Zorin OS operating system, there does seem to be a little bit of traction there. So I'd be thinking maybe developing a series of videos on that operating system, maybe a strategy to go forward. Just as you were saying that there are repository channels, I think the master of this space in terms of like software tutorials, not quite as in depth as Linux and as complicated, but this chap called Kevin Stratvert, he looks at all sorts of different types of software, like recording PCs, Excel, PowerPoint. He's jumping between many different softwares, but it feels as if his channel's reached a point of critical mass whereby he can create tutorials on any topic. And because it's always going to reach a big enough audience in terms of impressions to begin with, I assume he just gets a lot of search traffic and quickly ranks highly for all these types of videos. So this might be somebody to just keep an eye on for, you know, the way they deliver their content. But I'm personally thinking that this channel, with a few green shoots here on this operating system, may want to look on that topic. We could talk about thumbnails, but I think we'll leave a channel focus as the main thing for this channel to look at going forward. And so what we'll do now is move on to our first gaming channel, and that is going to be motion gaming. And what I'll do here is I'll let Dan lead, and then I want Alexei to chime in afterwards while I take a quick break for hydration.
So motion gaming, they're about to hit 400 subscribers. Congratulations. I like these thumbnails a lot. I think they're very nice and clear. You know, the use of text it's not too much, right? You got a couple of words here and there for impact as well. We're not repeating the title in the thumbnail. I would imagine this is somebody who is going into YouTube knowing what the heck they're doing, which is great. Great to see. What I'm not sure of is the game. I guess it's Blood Hunt.
Blood Hunt now, and I think it was Warzone a few weeks ago.
Gotcha.
So they are recently switched.
Yeah, they were sticking to Warzone. They've pivoted now to Blood Hunt, and with some success here and there. Like I see Blood Hunt Gun Guides Assault Rifle has 7,000 views, and then some videos are just kind of in the hundreds. It looks like their Warzone videos were a little more consistent. Just taking a peek down there, 6,000. Well, okay. Maybe it's kind of always been like this, but at the same time, we got to look at this. They're making, I would say, pretty searchable content, content of high value. So again, it kind of becomes this question. I didn't even realize this was going to be the theme today, but it kind of becomes this question of like, are they keeping their returning viewers happy? And the Warzone people, if they're not into this Blood Hunt game, might not be very happy right now. But it doesn't seem to matter too much because they are targeting search. And, you know, there probably is some overlap here in terms of the games and the fans of the games. So that does help. So I do really like what I'm seeing. I guess I'm trying to think of other advice. I think.
Well, let's bring in Alexei. Let's hear Alexei's thoughts while you have a little think, Dan.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, the one thing that jumps at me is that even though they switched from one game to the other, and even though, as you guys said, people who play Warzone aren't necessarily the players who will try out and play Blood Hunt, but you know, they're pulling, let's say, 6.9K views on a Warzone guns video, and then a week later they pull in 7,000 views on a Blood Hunt gun video, which tells me that they produce good content, right? I mean, those videos get views, and as Dan pointed out, the first thing he said was the thumbnails, right? They look professional. Like this. If you hide the subscribers from this channel, or if you just show me this picture and you would ask me, even if, let's say, if I couldn't see the views on this channel, if I just saw the titles and thumbnails, and you would ask me, guess how many subs this channel has, I would have guessed, you know, at least 10,000, maybe more, right? So yeah, they're doing a great thing here. Even though, let's say, the videos are a little bit shorter, but I think they're still not shorts, but, you know, vertical. Let's see. I mean, well,
this one looks to be.
No, it's still short.
It's still not working.
Yeah, even if it's vertical, I mean, sure, a lot of shorts traffic potentially coming in from this, but I still stay by what I said, like quality videos, basically. So lots of potential.
What I notice is here, I've been having real technical issues recently, by the way. As usual, I have this internet problem whereby it just doesn't play videos, but also my magnifying glass extension has stopped working, and that's really frustrating as well. So I'm going to try and get that working for next week. But what I notice here, Dan, you'll be interested in this. The shorts get like a good amount of views, 7,000, 1,000, and so on. But then they've also got these longer videos, like 16-minute video with 8,000 views as well. So they're able to, on occasion, transition that short form audience to a long form audience, which is something that many creators struggle with. They are still having a couple of duds here, like some videos getting only a couple of hundred views, but it's promising. Given the subscriber size, it's promising that the community that they're building here.
I've been developing my own theory about that too, with shorts
Okay.
and people just constantly getting, saying this thing that we hear over and over again, like, oh, my shorts viewers don't come and watch my long form content. And usually, not all the time, but usually when we look at those channels that say that, like specifically, we look at those channels and the thing they're doing in their shorts is nothing like the thing they're doing in their long form content.
Right.
And here we have a channel that is trying to give valuable tips, both short form and long form video wise. And they're targeting. Here's the thing about shorts, I think, in the future. This is my theory I was telling you about. If this goes on the way it's going to, I think what happens is that shorts become just one more tool in your arsenal. They already are, technically, but they're still so new. There's so much available real estate, right? So I think shorts, what this creator is demonstrating is I'm going to use shorts, but that's just one of the things I'm going to do. I'm going to target the people in the short shelf. I'm going to target the people in search by making this search-driven content. So now they're feeding viewers from two different pipelines, basically, on YouTube. And then if they're using the community tab, if they're using stories in the future, things like that, where everything you use on YouTube, every new tool that they come out with that you put on your channel is just one more way to reach people that you probably didn't want to reach before. So does everybody watch everything? Maybe not. But is there value in using all these tools? I think so, especially if you're going to be doing relatively the same thing across all the different verticals.
I think we should have a Dan's Theory Corner every single live stream. How did it feel with the screen on your there, Dan? Did you feel like big pressure when you were blowing up full size?
I was looking at the lens, but I just wish I was more articulate today. I think I'm still kind of waking up a little bit.
I think that's good theory. I mean, what you were saying here, that immediately made me think of BlockFacts, who... when you were saying about a creator creating a certain type of content for shorts, but then not doing the same thing in long form content, so the audience isn't as interested. BlockFacts did this expertly when they just went laser focus on a single item for 27 seconds in their shorts. But then when they took it to long form, they were still essentially given as the same type of content, laser focus, but not just on one item, on 36 items or 31 items, but delivered in a very similar fashion, which I think is what helped transition them from shorts to longs, and they really succeeded with that. So I think that theory has weight, Dan. I mean, we've seen it in this channel. You've experienced it on your own channel. So it's all gravy for me.
At the beginning, shorts was great for building a new channel, right? That was my experience with it. Now that it's become more and more established, I think incorporating it into whatever it is you're doing is the way to go, if you can think of a good reason. Because the other thing I want to say is that just because it's there doesn't mean you have to use it. I'm seeing people in the chat like, I'm scared to do shorts is one of the comments. Then don't do them. If you don't feel like they're going to be of value to you, or you just can't think of how you would best use them, it's okay not to. But I think the channel we were just looking at is doing a pretty good job.
Any thoughts generally there on Alexei? Like, do you have any experience with making shorts, or like a different a counter conversation or argument?
No, not really. I think that just like you thought of BlockFacts, I thought of a different channel, but also one channel that leveraged shorts to build an audience, and now they're doing both shorts and long form. But just as Dan said, they're not like completely switching the format. They're still doing the same tip style video, basically, just longer.
All right, then. So with you on screen here, Alexei, we're going to make you the lead auditor on this next one. And it is How Style. They have just over 1,000 subscribers. It looks like a music channel. What do you think to this one?
Yeah, so with this one, when I find these channels, because again, we select these channels randomly, and so when a channel pops up on my screen, the first thing I look at is the banner. And if the banner explains what the channel is about, I'm already a lot more willing to look deeper into the channel, right? And with this one, the value proposition is very clear, helping you in your music journey as a music artist. So that sounded enticing. When I looked the second time, I also saw the thing above, and now it gets confusing, right? So VPNs, game tips, and big O tutorials. So again, big thing. We probably will repeat it multiple times on live stream, but channel focus is obviously very important. And even if you have 1,000 subscribers, you still need to focus. Again, helping musicians on their music career, like a great subject to talk about. I'm sure there are lots of artists who would love to know more about how to put their songs on different streaming platforms, how to monetize every possible streaming source, and lots of other tips. So that would be amazing if you, let's say, focus on that. But if we sort this channel by most popular, or just by some of the uploads, you'll see they're also talking about Pokemon related stuff, like how to install Pokemon Unite version on mobile. So again, it's like same mistakes, right? Even though you have 6.2 thousand views on that video, again, these are people who are looking for something. They're getting what they're looking for, and then they're gone, and probably won't come back for your future videos. And then the ones you're highlighting, that's a slightly more encouraging approach, right? So you're doing multiple videos on the same keyword, lots of different angles. Like that's the one you should focus on. Unfortunately, it looks like they're doing those videos kind of sporadically 1 year ago, 4 months ago, 8 months ago. I'd love to see more around it. I mean, sure, maybe if I was talking to the creator one-on-one, so it's still consistent. Great. So yeah, that's really the I would say still the strategy to pursue. And then, after a while, if you get really tired of doing the same boom play type of video, maybe you can extend into neighboring but still relevant sub keywords, or just keywords that are relevant to that platform to some extent. Maybe an alternative or competitor, maybe boom play versus angle, right? Something like that. That one video can help you transition into that versus competitor. And so there are lots of different ways how to do it, but for now, I think just focusing on boom play for a little bit longer to build up that audience would be like the obvious step. And the other obvious step would be to stop doing Pokemon videos.
Now we are 29 minutes into this live stream channel audits, and we haven't yet spoken about thumbnails, which I think must be a record for us. So let's maybe get into some general thumbnail talk. What do you think to these ones generally, Alexei, and then Dan can chime in afterwards maybe?
Well, in terms of thumbnail design, some of them look quite good. So if I saw a thumbnail like that in search, I would probably click. I like the one that I said how to promote your music in Boomplay a month ago, second row from the left, the one that has like a pink background that jumps at me straight away. It's a simple one, right? You have a phone, you have pink background, you have some text overlay. Okay, you have some branding as well, which may or may not be necessary. But the other thumbnails, they are quite busy. A lot of text. Okay, you're using album covers or artist covers, and those, they look small, and you don't necessarily know which artist it is. So, I mean, there's room for improvement, and you're doing the right step there, right, Rob? You're just typing in the keyword, looking at the competitors. I guess the good news is that, I mean, there is a beautiful thumbnail with the blue background. And that's them. Oh, well, there you go. So it's still a compliment, right? Yeah, amazing thumbnail. Really good one.
And good views on that one as well, 3,000
Yeah,
views.
I mean, there you go, right? If you can get like a thumbnail that catches your eye, I would say this is like the biggest telling thing, right? I spot that thumbnail, even though I didn't know it's from the same channel, right? But it still grabbed my attention, which means it's an amazing thumbnail. I mean, you're doing the job that it's supposed to do, grab the attention. So just try to replicate that style for all your future videos as well. And even if it looks a little bit repetitive, I would still like do it the same way as you did this one.
I was just wondering if there was like a common thread that might run through music distribution platform thumbnails. It might be like number of listens, might be something that entices, you increase the number of listens or downloads or whatever. I'm wondering if there was some sort of thread going on there. I can see like in this one, there's paychecks, so there's a monetary value. But yeah, the one that we saw that, where was it? It was a couple of months ago, wasn't it? Is it going to immediately jump out when I scroll down? That one right there on the right-hand side. That feels like the default decent thumbnail that this creator should be targeting. Any final thoughts from you, Dan, or shall we move on?
I'm just glad you found that we found that blue one there, because that's exactly what I was like trying to think, like, how can I articulate what I would like them to do? And that's exactly it. You know,
Yeah.
the text isn't matching the title, which, I mean, sometimes all their thumbnail is just a bunch of text, and it's, you know, just stream. Everything about that thumbnail makes you want to look at the title and go, what's this all about? You know,
Yeah.
and that's what they need to be doing more of. When we look at these thumbnails, it looks like they've just kind of pulled all these different templates in, and they're just trying to figure out what the best one is. And you know, do your research just like we did a moment ago, and see what others are doing in your space.
Yeah, and that was 20 seconds worth of research. Imagine if it's 20 minutes or 2 hours, you'd learn so much in that time. Dan, tell us a little bit about Discord and
Discord.
why we're talking about it.
Yeah, Discord's a place. It's awesome. It's actually a place full of creators, just like you, I would hope, right? These are all creators we're talking to, I would assume. And they all join together to discuss content creation. What they don't do is post links to their content, because that's silly and nonsense, and nobody wants that. What they do, see how the separation there, it doesn't sound like I said do.
It feels very passive aggressive to me.
What? I'm not being passive aggressive. What they do, oh crap, is they come in and talk about different strategies. They share each other's thumbnails, give each other advice, things like that. What we're looking at right now is the thumbnail channel, which is one of my favorite places in that Discord, because it's constantly full of people saying, hey, check out my latest thumbnail. What do you guys think? And people are giving them feedback, like, maybe you've put too much text, or yeah, that looks good. I think you did a great job. So I love the thumbnail room, but there's all kinds of rooms for titles and you know, metadata and things like that. So check it out. Link is down below. And yeah, what happens is that our community manager, Dan, every single week picks somebody who he notices is giving quite a bit of value in that Discord, doesn't tell them anything, just throws their channel up on the screen. We're going to audit this person. I have no idea if they know they're being audited, but we're looking at Kuo, maybe.
Yeah.
The name is short, but I don't know how to say it.
Gaming channel that has 400 subscribers. And let's just have a look at their video selection. What type of games are they playing? I'm seeing Battlefield 5 and also another Battlefield game. Blade Point is possibly another one. Sorry if that's not actually a game, it's a character or something. But I'm not getting a real strong focus on what. Well, is it Battlefield? I think I'm gonna commit to Battlefield here.
Yeah, I think it is
a game of choice. Yeah,
I think it's primarily Battlefield, if not 100% Battlefield. So they're testing out shorts, which some of them have quite a bit of views. I'm seeing one down there for 16,000 views from
these two. Yeah, these two here. With these three even.
Oh, look at that. Yeah. So they're getting, that's really cool. So again, we see somebody who's targeting perhaps search and then shorts at the same time, pulling in a lot of different views, but we're noticing a lot of spikiness too. However, you know what I'm seeing? The videos that use the big thick text seem to have less views than those videos that use the thinner text that I was going to say blends into the sky, kind of hard to read.
Okay, yeah.
If that's anything at all, just something I'm noticing.
I see
spiky views.
Well, yeah, what's curious here is that there's this really good run on, I think, Battlefield, particularly on what looks to be a certain map. But they only did it for 3 or 4 videos. I'm wondering how they could have naturally transitioned to maybe another map in the game or another mission in the game. But it looks as if they lost faith in where they were going because a couple of videos tanked, and now they're into Splitgate, and the thumbnails have completely changed as well. So it's almost as if the channel just didn't have enough faith to continue down that path, and now they're in almost like research and discovery mode again. They're waiting for that next big thing. I'm just wondering whether any of the spikes as I scroll down.
Here's what I noticed at the top of their channel right now, their latest videos. They're making a mistake that I've worried that I've made myself quite recently, actually. I feel like this creator is testing too many new things at one time, you know? Right, and what tends to happen is these newest videos don't look anything like the videos from just months ago. And so imagine what that looks like to your returning viewers when suddenly this face has appeared on these thumbnails, and then the font is different. Everything about this thumbnail is different. It looks like a channel they didn't watch in the past. They haven't subscribed to before. And so that's okay. That's okay to do, but you just don't want to do that 3 or 4 times in a row. try to, if you can, keep providing the content, that is like tried and true, your flagship content, and test little things in between. If you go on these runs where you test a whole bunch of stuff at once, it messes up all of the results of that test and potentially burns your returning viewers.
Okay, I've learned something now. So I thought Verdun was a map or a level on Battlefield, but it looks as if it's actually its own individual game.
Okay.
Which just for me directs me straight to, well, this is your game of strength. This is your unique selling point as a credit. Like, this is the first time we've encountered this game. Mm-hmm. And look, I mean, it may be influenced by the fact that we've just looked at the channel, but you're ranking highly for this game. And whenever you look at that in the video titles, the videos blow up. So it seems pretty obvious to us, doesn't it, that you would establish an audience with what is what I presume is a World War I game, and then that could naturally transition to Battlefield or Call of Duty. As Alexi said, Verdun versus Battlefield versus Call of Duty, and so on and so forth. But I want to bring in Alexi here, because I feel as if Dan and I, we feel as if we got to the nuts and bolts of this. I'd love your thoughts if you know anything else that we might be suggesting to this creator, Alexi.
If anything, I'm trying to put myself into the shoes of that creator, and I think maybe they're still young, still at school, maybe they like to play different games, and this is why for them YouTube is not a business, but it's a fun thing. And I look back at myself, because I was also making games about shooters when I just started. And okay, sure, I was playing one specific game at that time, but nevertheless, I was like, if I were an active gamer right now, I would love to try Battlefield. I would love to try Verdun. I would love to try something else, right? And I would love to make videos about those things, because this is what I enjoy right now. So I would say that from a business perspective, focusing on Verdun makes total sense. But from a teenager perspective, who's still I'm still experimenting and trying to figure what I like, I would say, keep experimenting until you find that one game where you feel like, wow, this is my game, and I'm ready to make a year full of worth of content for that specific niche, and then go for it. Because you already have proven results, right? You have 76,000 views on the video, so you can make great videos. Very,
very fair point there. Yeah. Appreciating the creator/gamer perspective there. So that is Kuo. I hope you enjoyed our conversation there about your channel, and good luck going forward. The next channel we are going to look at here is Super Shay Tutorials, and they are 2 subscribers shy of 300. Dan, I believe this was one that you pre-selected. Tell us why.
Yeah, so I got really excited when I saw this channel, because I look at this creator as somebody who has access to something that not a lot of people have access to, right?
Yeah.
In this case, I would assume it's a collection of martial arts weapons and things like that, and or their own dojo, just looking at the shorts. So they have the space to make really unique content. They have the interest. They have the actual tools. And, I think what's missing here is just a little bit of refinement to get this channel where it needs to be. So I was looking at the titles and the thumbnails, kind of just setting aside shorts for a minute, and the premieres that are, kind of scattered throughout. I was kind of confused by the couple of premieres there I saw. And I was just trying to think, who is this channel for? And I think that's what this creator kind of needs to ask themselves, because I'm seeing words that I've never seen before, but I think the content itself might be of interest. Like commas keeps coming up, or kamas, maybe. I'm not sure how to say that. Yeah. Is that a keyword? Is that a search term? Or is there another word you could be using? Is there something that can make these titles more accessible to a wider audience? And because I don't know much about the subject, I wish I had some examples. The other thing I was going to say was that the thumbnails all feel, even though they're not, they feel like the same thumbnail over and over again. And if you're showcasing a different weapon or a different technique, I think that you and or that item should be the hero of the shot. Then right now the text is what is trying to tell the whole story here. But I think your thumbnails could do a much better job. If I don't know what one of these weapons is, I think you holding it clearly in frame is going to be a much better sell than you kind of putting it behind your back and then a whole bunch of text over you. So it's just hard to kind of see what's going on. And there's part numbers, so I'm not really sure, oh, do I need to watch part 5? Or, you know, can this little tutorial stand on its own? Things like that.
I think you've summed it up really well there in terms of the channel has potential, but it needs to be more accessible. Accessible is the word I'm really attaching myself here in terms of this channel. And you're right. I think a lot of people, when they're watching like TikTok or Reddit, and they see these cool things from martial arts, and they don't necessarily tie up the pitch in terms of a particular move that we might not be familiar with. It's like chopping through 5 blocks with a single hand. You know, that makes it kind of more accessible. I know it sounds like a bit of a ridiculous suggestion, but that's kind of how it's going to make sense to myself or Dan or somebody who's not familiar with this area of martial arts. Yeah. Another thing I noticed, I was just mousing over, I saw some long form videos, but maybe I'm wrong. I thought some of these were filmed as shorts in long form. Like this one here, which is 9 minutes, but it's filmed in vertical format, and they've tried to then add text to the left and right. Maybe I feel as if you are going to create long form content, maybe it's going to be more palatable and viewable as a landscape. Or certainly test it that way will be something to think about. And yeah, as you say, Dan, the tutorials are somewhat formulaic. That feels like they've created some templates. I don't really know what I'm going to get from this particular video from the thumbnails. It's just the next part of something. And maybe if I've not watched part 1, or I just want to see one thing that entertains me from this channel, I'm perhaps not going to get there. I feel as if I've waffled on a little bit too much there, so I'm going to bring in Alexa here, maybe, if that's okay, Dan, and then you chime in afterwards.
I was going to say one last thing,
go on.
Just because I noticed something as you were talking. Monday motivation is like a keyword they're trying to use, I'm guessing, every Monday. Yeah. And I would just argue that nobody, even if it is that video, it can still be the same exact video. Nobody's searching for the term Monday motivation.
Or it's too competitive, and it's not connected enough to martial arts. So each time I have Monday motivation, the view counts like 13, 8, 32, 25, 20. They're certainly not gaining any traction, are they? From what I can see. Good observation there.
Point that out.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, Dan. Alexei, anything you've noticed as Dan and I have been chatting away there?
No, you guys are bringing up very good points. And yeah, Monday motivation was one of the things I also wanted to mention if it was left unsaid. But also, I feel like, you know, right now they're making videos as if they already had like a massive audience and everybody knows what they're about and what value they provide. And so, yeah, of course, you can do Monday motivation and Tuesday something else. But in order to attract the audience, as you guys said, they need also to, you call it accessible. I'll call it just, you know, make the titles more casual, you know, more casual viewer friendly, right? Because some of these titles, they use words I don't know, you guys don't know. I'm sure some of these videos are actually quite fun and interesting to watch, just impressive to watch, because these guys seem like they know what they're doing, right? They have potentially their own dojos, as Dan said. So yeah, there is like watchability potential here, but sell the video to me in a way that, you know, like, okay, I get what I'm gonna, in a way that I understand what I'm gonna get out of the video, right?
If it's cool enough, anyone will watch this, right?
Yeah,
like that's what we're saying here when we say like accessible, casual. Like you're putting these shorts out there and they're getting a lot of views because you're doing something interesting, and on the short shelf you can tell that immediately, but your thumbnail has a little bit of a harder time communicating that. Looks like
this buffering is fascinating. I could watch this for hours.
I'm sure it is cool in there somewhere. Something cool.
Yeah, that's my fault, by the way. Channel internet stuff as usual. Let's move on to the next channel, and we are going to look at Brandon Brown Productions. This channel has hit 1,000 subscribers, which is fantastic monetization. However, what I will counter with is that I do not believe that this is a YouTube channel. And what I mean by that is that I believe this is a channel showcasing a film business, a photography business. And because when I look over the engagement for many of these videos, like this one that's live streamed, has 4,000 views, but it doesn't have hardly any likes or dislikes. So that suggests that maybe it was embedded somewhere on a website or on a Facebook group or whatever. And, you know, these are videos about, I guess, high school football. Apologies if I'm completely wrong there. So in terms of if I was somebody interested in that team and I wanted to follow it, then maybe I would find this channel useful. But occasionally it goes off and talks about the corporate excess fall sale, which has nothing to do with a lot of the stuff on this channel. And that feels like just, again, a showcase video. So I'm almost describing this channel as a repository for this channel's content, as almost suggested by the title. But Dan, Alexi, if you want to argue this, let's start the fight, or agree with me. It's up to you.
No, I agree. And I wonder if what I have to wonder is when somebody submits their channel for an audit, like, I would love to know like what their goal is. In this case, I'd really like to know.
Great question.
Like,
great question. Yeah.
Why was this channel submitted? Because to us, I mean, we're a bit jaded, right? We just know this stuff front and back. So we're obviously like, why? Like, obviously, like, you're not going to build an audience of returning viewers. Like, we don't know what's going on, and it just looks like a repository. It's totally fine. You can use YouTube to just upload
Absolutely.
stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But if you're doing that, and then you're wondering, hey, like, vidIQ, how can I like grow? I'm just kind of like, well, okay, we can definitely think of some stuff, but I don't know the goal here.
The most viewed one here, Surgeon Cell Phone Repair Center, nearly 100,000 views, but again, only 7 likes. That must be an advert that's been embedded onto somebody's.
I think as a production company, they are making these things and they're putting them out there. So what you could do, just a random suggestion, and this is just off of an assumption. So a suggestion off of an assumption that you are a production company putting your stuff out there. What you should do is be the face of your own channel. Take the things you've made and sit down, talk about what goes into making these things, and then use the commercial you shot as B-roll in the video, right? So if you're talking about how to shoot a commercial, break down a commercial you shot frame by frame and say, like, why did we make these decisions? Why did we do it this way? And bring some value to, you know, an audience on YouTube. Because right now it seems like unless I want to see these high school football games occasionally streamed on your channel, which it's a cool service you're probably providing, this channel really isn't for me. So I would have put those streams on a separate channel. Obviously, it's like a deal they have with the high school, right? I'm just making a lot of assumptions here. Everything else, commercials and cool stuff that they've shot, this all looks really cool. But what does it mean to me? Because I can watch this ad when I'm just tuned into television or like if I'm just browsing YouTube. So why are you showing me this ad? Like, sit down and tell me about it.
Dan, have you ever played a game called NBA Jam?
No, it sounds like
this is a 1990s game, and what would happen is it's like an arcade version of basketball. And like when a certain player started hitting hoops consecutively, the audio would go, "He's heating up." And I think if you hit one more, like knowledge bomb on the next channel, then you're going to be on fire. Does anybody remember NBA Jam, or am I just talking to myself?
I just hope that I didn't offend this creator. I know I kind of got a little hot there for a second. I just want to, like, when you have this skill, like if you can shoot full-blown commercials that people are paying you a bunch of money for, like, you could bring so much value to aspiring filmmakers out there, you know. So there's a lot you can be sharing.
Very, very true. Alexi, we know you audit channels here for vidIQ on a one-to-one basis. Have you ever come across a similar channel which is kind of geared towards, I guess, selling? They're using their their channel as almost as a repository to sell their products and talents, not necessarily building a community?
Yeah, I mean, I get to talk to a lot of businesses, real businesses, brick and mortar stuff. People who want to make YouTube into, you know, an advertising platform for them, an organic advertising platform. Yeah. And, you know, the answer is very similar to what Dan said. So I have to agree with you, even though I didn't play NBA Jam. But, you know, like, guys in the chat, like the things Dan is talking about, if you're getting this stuff for free in a live stream, but I'm telling you, some people pay a lot of money to get that type of advice where someone spells it out for them what to do in terms of how to make the content, in what format, et cetera, right? So what Dan said specifically with, you know, let's say sit down with someone, use the footage as B-roll, like, it's literally the strategy laid out there for free for you during a live stream. So kudos to not to Jeff, because Jeff is also part of my team, our team, your guys' team too. But yeah, Dan, awesome stuff there. So again, I only have to underline what Dan said. And also, if I think about, there are lots of professionals out there in the audio industry, mixing engineers and stuff like that. And what they do is they sit down with a client, film themselves talking about that one song that they're producing together, talk about the points that they're talking about, the thought process, why this decision was made, why am I playing this sound at this specific moment, et cetera, et cetera. Like if you can showcase a client session like this and then spin it in a way where even a casual viewer will learn something from it, maybe someone who wants to be in your job in the future, who wants to do the same thing you're doing, like that's the way how you win over people, right? And bring people to your channel. So yeah, just pretty much the same thing that as Dan said. You need to work on the format here a little bit.
I guess a natural sidestep here, it could be like, how do you produce and film these football games? That might be the starting point. How do you live stream it? Like, how difficult is it to set up the camera to like film on the pitch, but also the close-ups of the players? That might be interesting to the people who are already watching this channel. I loved, by the way, so go ahead, Dan.
So sorry, just to come to the high school football thing too. A lot of viewers come to those streams. Those are very highly viewed live streams. Again, I think separate channel for those. You could definitely on this channel do the behind the scenes production of those, but obviously you're catering to a very specific audience, a very passionate audience there for, I guess, Dalton football team. Make a separate channel just for them where you just do those streams.
I loved all of the NBA Jam references in a chat there. Obviously, sidestep from NBA Jam is NFL Blitz, if anybody played that. And my favorite quote from that game was, "Is that legal?" Again, that might be lost on everybody but myself, but NFL Blitz was also awesome. Oh, Dan as well. Sorry, complete sidebar here, but I've got to tell you, VR, I tried a game called IB Cricket, and it is amazing. I know you probably have no interest in cricket whatsoever, but me as a casual cricket follower, I was doing this for hours last night, with my VR headset. I was just going and doing all the shots. Anyway, as always, I digress. Let's move on to the next channel. It is Matthew Say, and I think Alexa, you picked this one, right?
Yeah, I picked this one again. This was a random pick. I just put a number generator into Google, and they spit out a number, and then this channel was the number. But I was positively surprised because look, the thumbnails look professional. The physique looks impressive. The value proposition in the banner looks, clear enough. To be honest, like the only thing I would tell to this channel is, or maybe two things. Fitness is competitive, so you need to stick at it. It's almost like working out, basically. You won't see results quickly, but if you stay with it and stick with it, basically, you will see results. So that's the first one. I guess it's the same advice, really, just consistency, right? Consistency is the key here. And because I'm looking at the videos, it looks like they started 2 months ago. So I'm just hoping for them that, they stick to a regular upload schedule. I clicked on the videos. I clicked through the videos to check out the video quality. It looks crisp, really well filmed. This is not, let's say, this is not a low effort video, right?
Wow, yeah.
The videos are well done.
Yeah.
And so the creator has some charisma on camera. They're smiling, they're talking. So again, I see potential here, both in terms of production value as well as personality of the creator. It's just that they need to get those reps in, right? Get the reps in by making more videos. So and if I were, let's say, to critique the thumbnails just a little bit, make them bigger. Just zoom in on everything twice as much. Your reaction there and the 5 things I wish I knew before, zoom in on the facial expression more and show the before and after in a much, much bigger format.
Yeah,
right?
You could almost do like a, sorry, I'm just going to do this you could split it into like 3, that's just so funny. Look at Alexi. look at him at the bottom of the screen. But you split the thumbnail into 3, and so going back to, so you split this thumbnail into 3, with the poses on the opposite sides and then hands in the head, just focus there on the middle. There's some positive signs here already. The channel has 6 videos. It looks as if they're posting regularly. Well, consistency could be a little better. It looks like here there are some breaks. But each video, apart from the latest one, which is only 2 days old, already has over 100 views. And I think in terms of consistency, that's already a good start. And I think in terms of the thumbnails, you've always got to try and add credibility, and just the physique of this person is already showing that the credibility that, you know, if you watch these videos, then maybe you can attain some of what I've already achieved in that sense. I guess what I would question here is just maybe their focus right now: fitness, menswear, lifestyle, vlogs, and fashion. That seems to be a lot of things to a lot of people. You haven't necessarily gone into those other topics yet, but kind of makes me worry a little bit that you try and diversify a little bit too early there. And I think maybe after you say, Alexi, 25 to 50 reps worth of videos, you'll start to see if there is a particular type of workout, whether it's 10 minutes or 5 minutes, or it's working out on the core or on the abs or on the thighs, etc., and a particular thumbnail style. So like just gaining experience right now is probably the most valuable thing that this creator can do, and continue on that path. Dan, notice anything else before we move on?
No, you guys definitely nailed it.
Beautiful. Let's move on to the next channel, which is Thomas Potter, and they have hit 2,000 subscribers. And before Dan chimes in here, I just want to say one thing about this channel. The moment I arrive, looking at the channel banner and just looking at the thumbnails, I know this channel is about gaming / Blender. And because I know Blender is like a graphics rendering engine, I know I'm either in the right place or the wrong place instantly as a viewer. And I think that there's credit to that viewer for doing that. What do you think, Dan?
So super professional channel. You know, that's what I saw when this first popped up.
Yeah.
What I noticed is when I sorted by the most popular videos, the answer was very clear to me.
All right, then. What's that answer?
The most popular videos, I know exactly what I'm getting thanks to the very simplistic thumbnails, especially that second one, how to make low poly faces. I love it. I love the side by side of a human face and the low poly face. And the first one as well. It was just dead simple. No text, no anything, low poly faces in Blender. And this was about 6-7 months ago. I kind of wonder why they got out of making thumbnails like this and adding so much text. I just don't think that text and logos, the way they're placed in some of these other thumbnails, are that necessary. The videos are still performing, but I feel like the thumbnails and the titles, the packaging of those older videos, it was like a light bulb for me. Like obviously that's why these videos perform so well. That's how I feel.
So low poly seems to be their keyword of choice within Blender.
Seems to be their bread and butter.
Thumbnails. Maybe low poly faces or characters in general was one. It's interesting as well. I mean, usually we complain about part numbers, but I guess I didn't include the part in the title. They kept it to the thumbnail in that sense, but that seemed to have quite a lot of traction there.
I just, even with the part numbers there, I wonder if you could have gotten rid of low poly character and the part number and just taken a thumbnail where every part, all 3 parts, the character gets more developed. You're obviously teaching people how to make these characters. So make it a game in the thumbnail, right? Like first you just have the wireframe and then they're built on a little bit more until finally in the third part, like they have the features and everything. Because people, it's not like you're giving anything away. People still need to come to the video to learn how to do that. I assume they're tutorials. So yeah, I think that we're tweaking right now. Honestly, that everything they're doing is great. They're providing a ton of value. I think that a lot of aspiring game developers out there probably come to this channel and learn a lot about Blender, which is great. I think if you were to ask us what you could do to increase the views on all your videos, I think that more thumbnails like these 2 here at the top, because that was like bingo. Faces in Blender, you know, everything's nice and big, clear to see exactly what I'm going to be getting.
Alexi?
Yeah, I mean, Dan covered everything, really. I mean,
right, cool.
Well, listen, overall, I think this channel, if they do what Dan just said about the thumbnails, and you guys in general, what you guys said about the keywords, maybe also the focus, they're going to crush it long term. This is going to be like a successful channel. You can tell just by the looks of it, right? I think that it's all about how fast do you get there. right? If you take some of those tips that you guys gave to heart, yeah, they're gonna get there faster. If not, they're gonna experiment to some more thumbnails that are a little bit different. But you know, I think this is gonna be a successful channel.
So in that case, with Dan's excellent audit of this channel, he is now officially on fire. One thing I do want to point out here is that I've seen this one example where they've tried to tie in a Blender tutorial with something that does have popular cultural reference, you know, the Funko Pop here. Could they maybe do a little more tying of like how to create a low poly Marvel superhero? Might be an idea, or what else would there potentially be coming out? Not necessarily James Bond, like, or a low poly James Bond weapon. I'm just wondering if there's, you know, that viral moment potential that they could try and leverage in one of those videos, because it looks like it's mostly very much Blender tutorials about hair or armor or lighting. Or I'm wondering if there is some way to tie in popular culture in some way, and then have a mass appeal on one of their videos.
Even if that is modeled like Iron Man or something. You know? Yeah,
a low poly Iron Man, just as an experiment, might be an example. What's the next big Marvel film that's coming out? Eternals, is that
Spider-Man?
Spider-Man, yeah, there you go. Low poly Spider-Man, and given that it's probably in the multiverse and they're going to have 20 or 30 different characters, you know, with all sorts of things that they potentially do. But that's just an idea, just a suggestion. All right, moving on to the next channel, and that is, I'm going to pronounce this channel name wrong 100%. Bariatric Fitness. Apologies if I pronounce that wrong. You're looking at weight loss workout recipes. You have over 200 subscribers. Congratulations on that. And it looks to me as if generally, although you do say your weight loss workouts and recipes, I'm seeing mostly recipes here for different low sugar, high protein foods. And they seem to be doing all right. Generally speaking, the numbers are solid, nothing breakout just yet. What I will say is, although the thumbnails are of a certain standard, I feel as if maybe they're created off of something like Canva from scratch every time. So I see somewhat a lack of consistency in just the through line a little bit. But I don't know if that's a criticism or an observation per se. And then sometimes there's the idea of when a thumbnail promises a certain style of video, and then you go over it and it's someone in their kitchen. It's a little more, I'm not going to say less professional, but I guess more authentic. And like there's more, I guess, heart to it. And maybe the thumbnails don't show that enough. Maybe they're too vanilla, or they're very functional. But I don't know. Those are just sort of random thoughts that are coming into my head as I look through this channel. Dan, Alexei, anything jumping out here as I slowly scroll through what we have?
Every video looks like it's from a different channel, which you kind of already mentioned. But it's got to be tough to get people to kind of return to the content because it's popping up in their feed and it always looks different.
Yeah. Now, they do have a couple of videos where they're actually in the thumbnail. There's one there which performed quite well. Another one here which is in the higher ranked ones, but I'm not sure if there's enough of a pattern there. The highest ranked one ties it into a well-known brand, so that gives them a little bit more exposure. And then there's one here about a journey, a story that's been shared and probably connects very personally with the viewers. So I think there's strength there as well. And have you been able to capitalize on those two types of videos?
Yeah, I think that's going to be kind of the key. If it looks like they're very passionate about recipes more so than the other things in their channel banner.
Yeah.
I would lean more into that and then start looking at different food channels in your space to see what they do. And what you'll notice is that most of them don't use text in their thumbnails. It's the food is the hero, and that tells most of the story. And then the title can, get them to click by saying, quick and easy, mac and cheese recipe, for example.
So the question I would ask here, and I'd be really interested to see the audience retention in the first 30 seconds. When you see this thumbnail, and then the video starts like this. And I'm wondering if there's perhaps a disconnect in some way. Like maybe looking at a thumbnail, I'm thinking more of a professionally short, like 5-minute craft style video where the video is top down, there's all sorts of lighting. And then I get this, which is kind of, it's somebody's home and they're making something. And there's maybe more authenticity to this, but the thumbnail doesn't necessarily tie up with the delivery of the video. I don't know. I could be wrong here. That's why I'd love to see the audience retention on this.
Well, I'll say what
they're
doing right is the video started immediately. There was no, hey guys, we're in my kitchen today, and today we're making tofu, in the air fryer. It just, there it is, tofu on the screen, cutting the package. I would say that part, the retention probably looks pretty good.
But do you think maybe the video needs to start with this, like the end product?
You could make that like a little intro.
Thumbnail.
Yeah. Like how do we go from
3 seconds, like 3 seconds of them stirring this up, and then it goes into the intro, just as an idea.
Yeah.
Alexi, anything you're catching here?
The one thing I was thinking is if Savage, aka Travis, was here, he would probably tell the creator to just make 3 different channels, right, for all the 3 different things that they have expertise in. Because I mean, it's going to be difficult to find a successful channel that is combining successfully all 3 things: workouts, recipes, and then the other thing that was also. And the second thing I was thinking when you were clicking through the video, discussing whether the intro was strong enough, is I would actually watch that video. Again, this is my personal preference. I know I'm not the ideal audience for this creator, but I would watch this video probably for the reason that just the whole process as they're showing, removing the packaging, turning on the faucet, and it has a soothing ASMR effect to it, most likely, right? And you just watch these videos because you want to relax or just to see other people do things. So yeah, that's just my observation, basically. Again, my recommendation, if we are, let's say, serious, let's find focus for that channel. And then if you want to show your workout journey, you can create a second channel where you're just showing your progress. Maybe that weight loss surgery regrets video could be there as well as a starter. I don't know. Again, I'm not saying you have to remove anything from the channel. I would never recommend removing content. I'm just saying that, splitting these videos into multiple channels. And then over time, you will actually see which channel you are spending more time on, and that's the one to focus on. I mean, you're going to focus on that in that direction almost naturally.
I think the biggest thing we learn from that is the news that Savage may actually be Travis. That is
spoiler. I hope I didn't spoil anything here.
Like, I mean, he's not here to defend himself, so let's just carry on as if nothing happened.
I think Alexi's just a little confused. It's okay.
I completely forgot to do the Twitter competition earlier on. You may have seen this really interesting thumbnail that I designed yesterday about us trying to break YouTube and the audience retention on a video. I hope you watch that and maybe play along with the game if you haven't already. And so we wanted you to give us your memes, and the winner was ASMR Gamer, who is obviously having issues with their video editing software, and the task manager joining in their frustrations and joining the dark side and breaking their creative process, which we have all experienced many, many times. So the winner, ASMR Gamer. And I'm not sure how much justice we're going to be able to do to this channel, since it is, I think, very much based on playing games. I think in the about section I read this, they play games and you can hear the keyboard and the mouse on the controller without talking. So Dan, we've sometimes talked about how can a gaming channel that doesn't do commentary succeed in such a competitive space, and maybe this is one solution to that, in that you emphasize aspects of playing a game in terms of, like certainly a mechanical keyboard, I assume, and a mouse very close to a microphone to pick up those clicks. But I'm also seeing a microphone here, so I don't know. Is this person also, I guess, filming their reactions? Like when they're playing a horror game and like they go, "Oh Jesus!" when they're playing a game or something like that. We wouldn't know obviously until we watch and listen to the video.
Yeah, I think the titles and the thumbnails here, they've been trying the strategy for a while, it looks like, where they put ASMR gaming in the title. They put the 3 tools they're using to make these videos in the thumbnails. And we're not seeing the growth we would like to see, right? Like it's just kind of
Let's have a
very
look.
consistent.
How old is the channel? Okay, so they've been doing this now for over a year.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the question that I have is there an audience for this? And there has to be something this is based off of. This isn't like the most unique idea ever, right? So maybe we could search for ASMR gaming and see what other people in this space are doing. Because we could sit here and talk about commentary on channels and things like that, but that's obviously not what this user wants to do.
There's ASMR gaming news. Blimey.
News about ASMR? That's weird.
I find that hard to believe.
Yeah.
Okay, it looks as if this one channel is dominating that search term.
Yeah,
rather than it being a topic.
The views on those videos, no offense to that channel, kind of low. They have 188,000 subscribers.
Also, some strange competition they've got there as well.
Yeah, I think when people think ASMR, they don't think gaming. They don't think keyboard and mouse sounds, and so I worry that this creator, this is going to be some harsh. I'm so sorry. I worry that this creator has picked a niche that has a very low ceiling. There's obviously an audience for it, but unless we're just not using the right keywords, we're not seeing the potential there, you know, and that's a concern to me. And I hope I'm wrong because there's been a lot of content put into this. They do have 1,000 subscribers. We would assume that's 1,000 different people at least that are interested in this kind of content.
So what I'm seeing is that when I do ASMR on a particular game, Call of Duty, the view counts seem to be in general higher. But if you look down the right-hand side, look how spread out that game is.
Yeah.
Now, I guess the argument should be, yeah, but it's not about the game. It's about the ASMR aspect of gaming, which I guess is true, but the audience isn't necessarily agreeing with that. Well, I'm going to try and play a video here. Okay. Let's see if we can. I'm just curious to know, like, do we hear the game itself along with? Oh man, no one's going to hear this, though, are they? Because I'm not sharing my audio.
No.
And so there's no point in doing that. So let's not bother. Sorry, Dan, go ahead, and then Alexi chime in.
I was just going to say, like, for me, unless Alexi, if they can continue making no commentary gameplay, but I think if you're going to do that, each video would need to have a very strong focus in it. Instead of you just playing the game, it has to be something very interesting happening, even if you're not commentating over it. So that would be a way to repackage this and maybe be a side effect of that. So you have the microphone pointed at your keyboard and mouse. So people are getting that still, but they didn't come there for ASMR. Maybe they're just kind of listening and watching at the same time. There might be a way to make the content you're making, but packaged up differently is my point. But I would love to hear what Alexi has to say.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that your audio, Rob, is not set up in a way that we could hear what's happening in the video, because I'm wondering, okay, we hear the mouse and keyboard sounds, which can be relaxing, and then we also hear the shot of the gun, boom, right? And then the flicker on the screen because he's changing directions or looking at that top corner where the enemy is or the competitor is. I mean, I'm not part of that generation who's playing Fortnite. And all these other shooter games. So I don't know, maybe kids do find it relaxing. I wouldn't personally, right? But I do have to say that in terms of ASMR and gaming, whether there's a connection, to me, there is absolutely one, because I found myself sometimes watching videos that are a little bit more slow paced. So the games that are played are not shooter games. The games that are being played are strategy games, something that is much, much slower pace. And then when the person is talking and clicking, and they're doing all of that, of course, unintentionally. For me, ASMR works the best. Again, this is personal preference when it's unintentional. I don't really watch intentional ASMR. But yeah, you do get this feeling like, wow, okay, this is quite relaxing. Let's say they're playing Civilization, right? And they're clicking, building their the new city, etc. Yeah. With a shooter, I haven't experienced it, so I cannot tell whether the format is proven to work. The quick search that Rob didn't really point us in the right direction. I feel like we are still inconclusive.
Yeah, like very, very female centric. When I did that search, so maybe there's just not a a broad gaming audience for it. Now, I'm going to try this, Alexei. I've put it onto a separate tab. This might work. Let's see what happens. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
No, but it's... Why internet do you do this? All right, it's just not going to work.
They're in chat. They did say their game audio is deliberately kept pretty low.
Yeah.
So it is mostly about hearing the sounds of keyboard and mouse.
All right, I just need to press some buttons to make sure that we're sharing properly again. And yes, we are. All right, so that was our pre-selected audits. So what we're going to do now is take a quick commercial break. And when we get back, we are going to introduce the claw. Yes, we have commercial breaks. And this is what one looks like.
Introducing daily ideas from vidIQ. AI designed for those that have to create. Inspired by the creators that start working when others stop. Because their inspiration doesn't care for 9 to 5. Creators that push their ideas 1 step, even 3 steps beyond the obvious, and won't ever settle for anything less. Discover AI-generated ideas made for your channel only, the creator whose brain works like nobody else's. Newly refreshed every single day, because we know how much it hurts to get caught sleeping on a trend. And there's nothing sweeter than waking up to a view count you didn't dare dream of. So we made View Prediction. See all your opportunities ranked by their potential to get you more views. When your creativity and our algorithm work together, surprising things happen. And this is just the start. The power of artificial intelligence is in your hands, and we can't wait to see what you create. Daily ideas from vidIQ. AI-powered inspiration, inspired by you.
I'll tell you what, when we talk about ASMR, I could listen to Dan's voice in that video for hours. It's just so soothing, Dan. You did such an excellent job there. Yes,
so,
daily ideas.
It's
Go ahead.
unsettling when everyone in the world is like, oh, I hate the sound of my own voice. I'm like, oh, is that normal? Is that a normal thing to hate?
You love the sound of your own voice, do you, Dan?
I'm just being sure.
That's a bit narcissistic. All right, so yeah, daily ideas, as you saw there, the tool that's going to help suggest ideas for your channel as long as you've uploaded a video in the last 90 days. And that, along with all of our tools, currently 40% off. The link is on screen and in the description. But now, this is what you're most interested in. And that is another Dan masterpiece there, the claw. So what we're going to do here is look at our forms that have around about 260 submissions each. And then this claw is going to pick out one of those numbers, and we take that number and we put that into the form like so. We have no idea what channel we are going to encounter now. And so we're looking at it for the first time, first impressions. And lo and behold, Dan and Alexei, it is a music channel that always gives us cold sweats. You know, we always struggle how to help music channels. But the awesome stuff is they have a audio verification checkmark, which is brilliant. That is something that musicians can get under 100,000 subscribers. So well done to you. So yeah, since Dan and I struggle with this every single week, we are going to put our feet up and we're going to throw this over to Alexei. Help, Alexei. How do we offer advice to this channel?
Well, since the banner doesn't tell us much other than, you know, the channel name, maybe you could click on About and see if they elaborate on what the channel is about.
Ah, look, we have some keywords here that we could maybe use.
All right. So in that music... wait, could you stay there for a second? Because they're down below, they also have a biography, and they're talking about... I think they're making the music themselves, right? This is hence the music icon next to the channel name.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, this is I would say this is an artist who is, from my understanding, who's uploading their songs. Although sometimes that music guy. Yeah, it's always that music guy at the end. Yeah, so it's a musician making beats, hip hop, lo-fi, and combining with anime. There's this Ippo boxing anime. I watched that anime actually, and it's great. So I can see how it could fit a music video because it's quite motivational, inspirational. The thing about music channels, we have a very knowledgeable person on our team at vidIQ who runs a music channel, and I'm just going to repeat his advice because obviously
I was going to do the same thing, Alexi. You beat me to it. Go ahead.
The thing is, it's all about kind of forfeiting the song name and artist name and focusing more on the genre as a keyword and putting that the first thing in the title, right? And then potentially maybe making a long mix, let's say 1 hour, 2 hours of lo-fi, where you put all your songs in there. This would be kind of the strategy to try out, because the thing is, okay, I do know that if you do anime music videos, people are looking for those, and you might get views on those just because of that. But if you want to promote your music, and grow as an artist, you just need to, put the brand to the side for a minute and just try to get people in the door by offering them, the kind of music that you're doing. Like, spell it out in the title what it is. Is it a lo-fi beat? And hey, if you can mix the lo-fi plus AMV, that's 2 keywords. And maybe let's say, I know that some animes, they use a lot of hip hop stuff, like Samurai Champloo, I think it's one of them. They feature a lot of tracks from hip hop. So yeah, if you combine hip hop with an anime like that and do an AMV with that, it could potentially, produce some interesting results. And then from there, once you start growing an audience, you can make the big reveal that, hey guys, by the way, all of the songs that you just heard are done by me, and go from there basically.
So as an example here, we have 6 tracks, and you should be thinking about switching the beginning of a title, so Seasons, Just Another Day, Peace, which are spaced out for some curious reason, either removing that completely or putting it to the very end of a title, and then bring in lo-fi beats and possibly some other keyword like a chilled riff or whatever. Again, I'm not very familiar with the music keywords, but I know lo-fi is one that's used.
Just something, like lo-fi beat, 1 hour. Just that long tail variation would already do better than just lo-fi beat, most likely.
Front loading with that type of keyword. And then, as you say, Alexi, taking these 6-7 tracks and putting them into a playlist of 10 to 15 minutes. Ideally, you'd want it to be an hour or more. But those are like the very basics this channel can start with. Because I guess this one, where especially in terms of the thumbnail and the title, I have little context as to what I'm getting into on this channel. Dan, you're very quiet. Is that because you want us to move on to the next channel, or have you got last words of wisdom?
You guys definitely covered it. And what I noticed here in chat was somebody saying thank you. I assume that's for us. Maybe it's not. But another music channel watching right now, getting some value here. And it's something, like you say at the beginning of all the streams, be sure that you're paying attention to the channels we audit so that you can, apply whatever we're telling them to your own channel. We're not auditing this channel right now, Urban Noise Music, but hopefully they're getting some value. So I'm just scrolling through these. Like, does it look as if they're front loading? Like we're saying that it's free.
Yeah, they absolutely are front loading. But keep in mind that when you see free and then lo-fi beat, these are videos that are supposed to sell the music. Right. Yeah. So there is like this whole sub niche within the music niche where producers are selling their tracks to rappers. And with the word free, they're kind of telling the rappers that, hey, you can use this track for free if you don't monetize it. If you want to monetize, you need to buy the license. And, it's just a thing in this niche. So, but yeah, they're doing exactly that thing. They're front loading the word free lo-fi type beat. That's the keyword. And then at the end, you have the beat name in a good place, for example, or something else.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily seeing titles. I'm seeing how you should feel, the emotional sense of the music in each of these. But we are looking at the highest rank ones as well. So don't necessarily copy these verbatim, but there's some good reference points here for the channel. And so that was That Music Guy. And now we're going to pick a gaming channel. And this channel is 261. Oh, look at that. They are almost at the very top of the list. Somebody you submitted very, very recently. Their channel is called Play Game. All right. So very simple channel name. Is that Psychonauts?
I don't know. It might be.
Maybe not. It looks like it's Fortnite, actually. Anyway. What is this channel offering us? A bit of Tekken 7. I didn't even realize Tekken was still around. Blimey, they've got up to version 7 now. From Fortnite stuff.
So I think two things. Channel focus and content focus. First, with channel focus, how much crossover is there between Fortnite and Tekken? If you've been watching our channel for a while, you probably saw that advice coming. You want to pick the one that you're most knowledgeable in and ideally has a high enough ceiling, meaning people out there are searching for this content. They want more. And content focus in that your titles and your thumbnails aren't telling me much, especially the later videos. It's, Tekken 7 gameplay. But what about Tekken? Like, why should I watch this video? Are you going to show me some unique combos and things like that I can't get anywhere else? Are you going to make me better at Tekken somehow? Because when you think about it, why do people watch gaming content? Yes, there is obviously that entertainment aspect, but a lot of people watch gaming content because they own the game and they want to improve their own time with they want to improve in the game. So for example, farming games, there's a lot of depth to those. There's a lot of ways you can manipulate the economy and things like that. So there's a plethora of videos you can make with a farming sim to show people all these different tips and tricks and things like that. So with fighting games, I imagine, I don't play a lot of fighting games, but I imagine there's a lot of deep information that you could go into and you could tell people about the game and you could teach them about it. Same with Fortnite and games like that. So help people enjoy these games and play them themselves. That is what I mean by content focus. I don't really know why I should watch this video.
I would add, it's time to start thinking about custom thumbnails. I think you are actually uploading a custom thumbnail in some of these examples, but I don't think you're necessarily putting much thought into them in terms of how to appeal to a viewer. And then the next question is, from me, what makes your channel different to Fortnite channel 7,322, which is on the face of it doing something very similar to you. Now, having said other things Dan and I have said, which is like fundamental advice, there is some traction going on here. You have 161 subscribers and the view counts, although they don't look fantastic, we've seen channels that have been making videos for years and they barely get over 20 views because they're continuing to do walkthroughs and let's plays, which are really difficult. You have some traction here. So there are some positive signs, but there are so many fundamentals you can work on to improve that even more. Final words from Alexi, if you have any, or we can go back to the claw.
Final words is that I think it's a young creator. They're just trying YouTube.
True. Yeah.
And I think that it's great for them that they start now, because in a couple of years, they will know YouTube much better, and everything that we told them here today will sink in even more, hopefully by that time. So yeah, just keep at it, keep trying YouTube. That's my advice.
I love the perspective here, Alexa. Like Dan and I have just got used to saying thumbnails, channel focus. God, this is driving me nuts. And Alexa's like, remember, there's a human being at the other end of this audit. Sometimes we need to appreciate that. Let's move on to the next channel, and it's going to be channel 147. This is a non-gaming channel. They're called Animal Science TV. And it looks like we need to congratulate them, first of all, on hitting 1,000 subscribers. Well done to you. Should have your community tab very, very soon. And what do we see here?
All I could see was the text, "I eat poop."
Hey, that's not a bad title, is it? To
No,
get people
it's
to
actually
click?
a really great pitch for the video. This animal is gross. I like what they're doing with titles and thumbnails.
Dog facts, seahorse facts. So being very matter of fact in many of these. It looks as if it's one of these channels whereby I've seen this sometimes with the daily ideas that it suggests to us, in that vidIQ competes with a lot of, as strange as this sounds, it competes with a lot of Indian YouTube education channels, and Indian channels tend to do a lot more, how do I say this politely? They almost repeat the titles so that they try and include as many keywords as possible and almost reinforce them. And I feel as if I'm getting this a little bit here in some of these, like Casa Y. What is that? Casa Y facts. 10 animal facts about. Let me find a better example here. Seahorse facts. 10 animal facts about seahorses. It's almost like you're a repetition going on in there in the title. I'm not going to say that's a bad strategy, because I think it works in different areas of the world in terms of titling structure. But could they be more exciting, perhaps? Like one really important fact. Like Dan, you said the thing about, which was the one that said I eat my own, what was it?
Next to the seahorse one. Right next to the seahorse video.
Oh, on the thumbnail. Right. Yeah. Okay. In
the middle. So I agree that, yes, I think there are channels out there that utilize the double, title strategy, and it works for them. Personally, I think less is more with titles. If you can make that title shorter, you should. You have the word seahorse in the title twice, and that's unnecessary as far as search is concerned. So 10 facts about seahorses or top 10 seahorse facts or something like that is more than enough.
I always just want to see maybe the videos and see if we can get any more information. Looks like there's a lot of B-roll going on here and footage that they've created, but they're also appearing in front of camera as well. And I really wish my internet would help me illustrate this, but I think you can see down at the bottom there, the thumbnail preview, that they're doing a mix of on-screen and then B-roll. So that seems like there's a lot of effort going into the production and editing of it. And some of these videos are getting significantly more views than others. Is there a pattern here? Let's have a look. No, I can't really see if there's a pattern between sea creatures or insects or mammals or anything. Sometimes the videos click a bit more than others, and that's, I guess, kind of the environment the creator's in.
Yeah.
What do you reckon, Alexi? Anything jumping out at you here?
Yeah, I think I like some of the text on the thumbnails, like louder than a jet plane. That's instantly sounds funny to me.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
I think they have like a knack for some nice snippets of titles with text in there. And, maybe the question, why am I not growing faster, is just that, oh man, there are so many animal facts channels out there. Yeah. So it's like, it's another niche that is similar in competitiveness to some of the most competitive niches out there. Because I do have to give credit to this creator, because it's not a faceless channel, right?
They're showing themselves. It's almost there, isn't it? But they've decided that they're going to be a personality on the channel as well.
Yeah, whether it's going to separate them from everyone else long term, I don't know. Maybe. But yeah, just because it's competitive, you just need to be prepared that the video quality needs to be high. Like everything needs to stand a chance versus some of the other big guys out there who started this trend, let's say 5 years ago.
Now, if this channel is getting access to the community tab very soon, I think there's a wonderful opportunity here to take one fact from your videos, and like each community tab post is, did you know that koalas eat their own poo? Like, to learn more, click on the video, watch this video. I think you can insert bits of trivia through each of your community posts to add just a bit more exposure.
And polls. You can do trivia polls and then put the answer in the pinned comment.
There you go. Look, some interesting and useful advice there. Let's move on to the next channel. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make sure that Alexi leads on this one, just so we're mixing up the opinions. I don't always want to give you the last word. Alexi, I want you to sink your teeth into something before Dan and I have bitten all the meat off it. So do you want to start with skits?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so again, as a first-time viewer of this channel, what do I look at? I look at the banner. It doesn't tell me much. But I'm suspecting it's Minecraft related just from the blocks there in the background.
Yeah.
Then I look at the thumbnails and they tell me it's Minecraft. And the thumbnails, at least the most recent ones from a couple of days ago, maybe even from the last week, they look interesting.
We need
No
to watch this video
hunters.
afterwards.
Which
Is this
one?
a video about us vidIQ giving him ideas?
Oh, right. Yeah. So
Interesting.
that's a good one too.
Somebody's already watched it. That's interesting.
But you see, it's kind of like a mixture Discord culture / Minecraft, right? So it's both.
Yeah.
Because they have a video that they got bullied on Discord, and then another one Discord related. So again, it's an interesting direction they're going there, and knowing how I think that's the channel we introduced on the vidIQ as well. Or we mentioned them. Beluga, is it right? The guy who makes like Discord stories.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can definitely, I guess, he's proven that you can grow insanely fast if you're like embracing the Discord culture, and I mean, if you're being creative about it. But I mean, what do I say? We've said all the things in this live stream multiple times, and all the tips that we said apply to this channel. Like, focus on one thing, right? Is it Minecraft? Is it some things about YouTube that are annoying? Is it I mean, that's another niche separately, right? So but I think the consistent pattern here overall, I'm going to stop rambling in just a second, is that most of the videos are Minecraft related. The thumbnails look pretty nice, right? So they're nicely produced, designed. So I don't know. Should you ditch Discord and stop doing videos around Discord and just focus on Minecraft entirely? Possibly. And in terms of format, should you still sprinkle in some shorts that you were doing before as well? Possible. Because those are getting 3.4 thousand. Let's say occasionally 15,000 the first one. Right? So shorts as a strategy, Minecraft focus is a strategy. So just doing those two things for a prolonged period of time will probably get you to the 1,000 subscribers. I'm not going to make predictions how fast, but reasonably fast.
Dan, Minecraft channel. Yeah. What do you think?
My advice for Minecraft channels has been changing a little bit, because what I've had to, accept is that as fun as this game is and as recordable as it is, like, Minecraft channels have a different kind of challenge that they need to figure out. We could tell them, you need to just focus on Minecraft. Stop doing the Discord. If you were ask us, how do I grow? Why aren't I growing? That would be the first thing we would tell you, is like, focus, right? However, with Minecraft, these days, it's so competitive. You need a focus within the focus. So if you can do Minecraft, except you do it in a certain way, you cover it from a certain angle. And I don't have the answers for it. I don't even have great examples of what that might look like. But as the creator, that is your job. You need to figure out how you can do this like nobody else is. And then you have a much better chance of standing out. It's just like the harsh truth when it comes to Minecraft. Otherwise, you're just kind of making these videos, and they're kind of, I'm saying, all over the place in terms of their topics. You found treasure. I saw one about hunters, so I'm guessing kind of a gameplay video or a let's play video with you getting hunted or something like that. There's all kinds of different topics within Minecraft, and you can actually go deeper on a lot of these, and some people do, and some people have entire channels dedicated to one very niche aspect of the game at large.
Yep. I couldn't agree with you more there, Dan. I was trying to formulate the thought of, is this creator creating content as if they're a larger channel with a wide audience, and they can tell these crazy stories and like do these challenges, and just the audience isn't quite there yet. I was also trying to watch one of the videos to see if maybe, the thumbnails are really good, but the first 5 to 10 seconds just aren't delivering. But I couldn't get my internet to work. So again, looking at the audience retention in the first 30 seconds, especially in the Minecraft space where it's so competitive, might be worth a look as well.
I want to say one more thing too.
Yeah.
Minecraft is a really great place to start YouTube in the sense of practice, which we talked a little bit about today. We talked to Rugged Eagle on Tube Talk on Thursday. Rugged Eagle, if you haven't heard, they're actually a channel. He's from our community. You might have seen him around Discord and places like that. They cover primarily Lego games. However, they started with Minecraft, and that was where they got their first experience with YouTube. So, it can definitely be a gateway game in terms of what you do with your channel in the future. So I would encourage you to keep creating, but if you want to stick with Minecraft, you want to focus up.
Creative relaxation. I'm fascinated by a video that's titled "Sleep Instantly in Under 3 Minutes," and the video is 10 hours long.
Yeah.
So no, I'm not thinking about the I guess the clickbait. I understand the concept of that, in that you keep the audio running as you're asleep. I'm trying to think of how I can approach this channel without saying there are thousands, if not tens of thousands, of these relaxation channels on YouTube now, and this channel looks as if it's going using the approach of making very long videos. So man, if you fall asleep watching this video or listening to this video, that is a lot of free watch time almost. How does a channel differentiate themselves in this topic these days? And that's not a question I expect an answer from you, Dan or Alexi. It's just, it feels like this is one of these genres whereby it has a capacity of maybe, let's say, 100 channels who can really dominate this space and be really successful. But then that's it. All the viewers are going to flood to those channels, and there isn't much room for smaller channels to have a space in this area. I feel as if, as I say that, it's a very naive attitude and approach, but I'm struggling to suggest what this channel's doing wrong, but at the same time, how can it build up any momentum when it's so competitive? Discussion, thoughts? I open it to the floor here.
Well, I can share some thoughts, because I talk to these channels sometimes, and I know I have to agree with Rob for the most part. Like the scenario described, that 100 channels will get all the viewers and that's it. That's accurate. The thing is, there's still a light at the end of the tunnel here, because every time I think that this niche is done and been done, and there is no more to do, then a channel pops up with a different angle and is successful. And I can give you one example. I was talking to that creator, and they became successful in this niche with dark screen videos. So the thing is, making dark screen videos today will not give you the same pull or push effect as it did a year ago, right? Because now even this subgenre is getting also quite. I don't like the use of word saturated, but I'm gonna use it here. Still, if there is a creator out there in the comments who's thinking about creating this channel, I'm not saying that you can't make successful dark screen videos. I think that there's still, it's still working. I mean, there you see it 3 months ago, and it's partly one of the most successful videos on this channel. At least it's in the top 12, right? But I'm just saying that this dark screen trend was quite hot a year or so ago, maybe even earlier than that. And then the thing is, trends do appear in this niche. It's just that are you going to be the first person to find them? And for that, I always suggest to use some of the tools that vidIQ has, such as Most Viewed, because this is one of the tools that can help you find what's trending this week or this month. And the only thing the creator needs to do is basically type in one generic keyword that describes the niche loosely. Maybe just the word relax sounds or something else, right? They type that into Most Viewed, start using the filters that we have there, find smaller channels that have produced successful videos with that keyword, and And this is how you spot some opportunities, even in 2021, in basically today, this month.
I'm just trying it in the background now to see if I can find anything. No, that's not really. All right. Yeah, it's just going to take a bit too much research now. You're just going to watch me typing for 5 minutes if I do that. The one thing I noticed here, I guess the theme was that rain seems to be the theme of the most popular videos here, for deep sleep with heavy rain. So that seems to be the most powerful aspect of this channel in terms of their pull. I guess I haven't really seen much inspiration type stuff. I feel as if inspiration and relaxation are very separate genres in that sense. Dan, any thoughts here, or are you good to maybe tackle a gaming channel?
I think we should move on to the next one.
All right then, let's do that. You've never thought about doing your own relaxation channel, have you, Dan, where you just say different vidIQ adverts for like 3 hours?
I guess we could take the ones I've done and just string them together.
I'd subscribe.
Hey, you'll be surprised. Like I've seen videos where a creator plays blackjack in an online casino, and then a bunch of other channels take his videos, stick them together in one long video, and call it whatever it is: relaxation, ASMR, blackjack sounds, monetize it, and are successful. To an extent. So yeah, you never know. Dan, maybe your commercials could work too.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, this stuff.
Some ideas.
So
unintentional ASMR.
You see, again, I put in ASMR and I see. I'm gonna again ask something which is very simple, but are they putting a female in the thumbnail to get the click? In some
I'm gonna tell you, I watched the first video in the ranking results, not the full obviously, but some of it, and yes, there are female dealers there, but also male ones, so it's like a mix, right? But they're making a strategic decision to feature a female in the thumbnail because I guess people are clicking more. So yeah.
NGP Odd Gaming, Dan, how odd is this gaming channel? Let's see, Phasmophobia is one game that I've seen, but then when I look at all of the other thumbnails, because there's a lack of focus on them, I don't really know what each of these games is about. So already 15 to 20 seconds in, other than maybe getting a horror vibe, I'm not sure I'm in the right place.
Yeah, I think it's clear they play horror games, and it can be very tough to take something from the game. A horror game is very dark.
Yeah.
However, it has been done, and there are many channels out there you could look to for examples. So both titles and thumbnails are all I can say here, because they're not packaging this content correctly. I don't know what I'm about to watch. I don't know why I should watch. It's just I think the titles are a little too simplistic, and I think the thumbnails are very, very hard to see. It's hard to know what's going on. I was looking at the headphone video there, so it looks like a year ago they tried something else. Yeah. But these days they are focused on horror games, which is good. That's a great start. That's a really good place to be. And horror games can be a lot of fun. Sorry?
Mostly longer videos, like either live streams or significant Let's Plays. I'm seeing there as the most popular videos. Is that what I tend to do all of the time? Yeah, everything is at least 20 minutes, and in most cases, hours or more. Just to try something left field, I'm wondering if they may want to try a video where they trim everything down to like the best, scariest moments of a session that they played the game in. Like it's nothing more than 3 to 5 minutes long. Just to try something new, to get out of maybe the probably the frustration and funk they're in, given that they've been doing this now for months and months. And the view counts are staying relatively static, which is generally under 50 per video, I would suggest here.
On the subject of editing, there's a channel that I think every gaming creator should be aware of. And this is not a great advice for a horror channel per se, but just that you said cutting things down and taking the best moments. There's a channel I've been watching lately. It's called Let's Game It Out. And they play a lot of simulator games, and they're very funny. It's like a comedy gaming channel. What they do when you watch enough of their videos, you realize that what it takes to make these videos is a ton of time, hours and hours and hours. But they're all cut down to like 10 to 20 minutes, and it's everything this guy says is hilarious. Everything he tries in his videos is hilarious, and it's because he takes that hours and hours long recording and he cuts it down to the very, very best moments. And if you want to see a masterclass in that, this is the channel I want you to watch. I would say just advisory warning if you're of a certain age, there's swearing and things like that in the videos. But overall, just for an educational thing and just for a laugh, great channel. A lot of you probably have heard of it before. In terms of this channel, yeah, I think we're struggling definitely because of the thumbnails. I think at least with the titles, there's some interest there. There's a little bit of intrigue in the latest one. Played in a high level area and got ganked. Stuff like that is kind of interesting. It's something terrible that's happening to you. It's just 50 minutes. Like that's quite the time commitment. And I have no idea what's going on in the thumbnail. So titles and thumbnails, especially thumbnails in your case, and then have a sit down about your editing. Try and figure out what you can do to make these shorter. Again, look at other channels in the space. This path has been paved time and time again, horror creators. So check out how long their videos typically are.
All right, then let's move on to the next channel. This is going to hang on. This is a non-gaming form, right? I'm seeing deep fake GTA. Oh, this could be the wrong. This could be the wrong form.
Well,
all right. No, maybe it isn't. Just well. All right. Now you've got me interested. Okay, I've never seen thumbnails like this before. This is one where I really want to watch one of these videos.
Oh, they're very short too.
Yeah. So are these actually shorts? And probably singing copyright songs as well. Oh, all right. Let's risk it.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow. Very unique. So with the shorts shelf, not the short shelf, with the shorts creator app, like whatever that's called, you've been saying it all the time, Robin. I still can't remember the dang name. You can add copywritten music to it, to your videos, and it's totally legit. But you have to make them in square or vertical format. They have to be, done in a certain way. So they can't be more than a minute long to be a short. These aren't going to qualify as shorts, but if they did, and you're having trouble with copyright issues, you might consider using that to put the finishing touches on your video.
So when sometimes channels go laser focus, I think this is an example of one where they're just taking the characters from all of GTA and then I guess lip syncing them in a deep fake fashion to different popular music tracks. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't know how much of a shelf life it's got, 6 months, 12 months down the line. But I almost feel as if this creator has the ingenuity to think of something new and exciting going forward. I wouldn't be surprised if one of these videos perhaps goes viral at one point. How long have they been doing this? A month.
What?
Yeah. So they've been doing this for a month. Could they, mind you, if you find really popular music, then you run the risk of getting copyright strikes as opposed to copyright claims. So it might be worth looking at, going through the YouTube Shorts app just to see what music is available. And then, as you say, Dan, maybe trying the vertical format of these, because you could probably do 9 characters, couldn't you, as a vertical rather than a landscape?
Or just one. Why does it have to be all of them every single time? I mean,
it could be just Tommy Vercetti's deep faking, one of the things. This is one of these just weird out there ideas, Alexi, isn't it? That just works somehow. It's just there's some strange, curious quality to it.
I think this is a prime example that if you're doing something new on YouTube, something fresh, never seen before, you can get away with a lot of things. Thumbnails become irrelevant. I mean, titles are still well written here, but so I would say, to summarize, if you are in a competitive niche, you need to pay a lot of attention to editing, thumbnails, titles, all of that stuff, right? But if you find like something that is brand new, again, AI, deepfakes, all of that is still new, yeah, I mean, you're gonna get views like these, and enjoy it while it lasts. Because as you guys said, I mean, what's the future of this? I mean, there's probably a way to pivot from this content to something else. I don't know if they're if they're creating the deepfakes themselves or using some kind of website or script. I see a watermark in every single something.
Wambo AI. So I'm guessing
right?
that probably just takes maybe a still image of the character, and then somehow you have this image, you have the music, and then you say stitch that together and create a deep fake of this. Maybe there's nothing in the description that kind of tells us how it's done, which I guess is one of the things that you want to try and keep a secret for as long as possible. And you were talking there about the thumbnails, Alexei. I think what these thumbnails do have is that type of organized chaos quality to them, and the fact that they pretty much use the same thumbnail every time, so that this is another video from we haven't even said the channel name yet, Clued Speeds. So I think there is some consistency there, weirdly. And there's you are right, and there's one here where they maybe just tried it with 2 people. That just looks really strange, but interesting and intriguing, visually appealing in some way. So yeah, this looks like a channel that has a fantastic idea. How to maintain it, prevent themselves from being copied, where do they go next? Those are all questions they probably want to be asking themselves. And I guess the final thing is, can I actually monetize any of this? Is there a business to be made out of this? Probably not, because it goes into sort of like the meme aspect of content creation. But well done on the ingenuity here for the channel. And yeah, it definitely wasn't a gaming channel. I think we'll all agree, even though it was using gaming characters. All right, next channel is going to be a gaming channel, and this will be channel 80. And Alexei, if you don't mind, if you want to lead on this one, just trying to mix things up, who goes first and who goes second. We are looking at the reaction squad here.
Yeah,
right. Not liking the video so far.
So the thing is, when I saw the channel banner, I thought, okay, League of Legends, great, something I can talk about a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I see the amount of videos, and they have nothing to do with League of Legends. So I mean, what do you say about a channel like this, right? This is a channel that is just can you call this experimenting? Or is this just, I'm just doing YouTube because I think YouTube is, because I want to be, like PewDiePie. I mean, I think it's probably a young creator just starting out, trying different things. The one thing I can tell to someone who's doing things like that, like just showing gameplay from video games, unless you have exclusive access to that video game before everyone else, is not going to get you a lot of traction, right? So you need to find interesting angles. World War II, Battle Combat, Android gameplay, like having the video game title plus gameplay keyword in there, it's not going to work. It hasn't worked 10 years ago because I was doing the same thing when I started, right? Just the game name and gameplay, and then the word commentary on top of that. Didn't work then, right? Didn't work 10 years later. So yeah, I mean, if you're serious about this, you need to find interesting angles for the games that you're playing, or if you are, because this ain't gonna work.
So in a role reversal here, Alexei's decided to take on the tough cop approach, but I'm going to be the nice softly cop here and say there are some shoots of momentum here, even though the channel has started on YouTube a month ago. They've already got 62 subscribers. Seems a little on the high side, but some of these videos have already got 50 plus views as well, which is encouraging. I don't know what the details are behind them, but it looks as if it's organic. So the channel is doing something right at this point. I obviously agree with everything you said here, Alexei, and I think what this creator needs to do is basically make 25, 50 gaming videos on whatever they want, experiment as much as they want, and then start to look at the data and the feedback that you're getting from your audience, and then decide, all right, maybe I do want to focus on this World War II Battle Combat Android game, but I want to start doing some tutorials and help people how to play it, or I want to do like crazy moments from it or montages or whatnot. With just the 4 videos that we have here, there is very much 2 games and then 2 videos that feel almost like community requests almost from the people who've watched them. And I'll leave the final thoughts to you, Dan, if you have any.
Well, the channel name is Reaction Squad, but I'm not really getting a reaction-y vibe from the videos. It seems like the ones that I'm most interested in are the 2 mobile World War II videos. And there's something to be said for somebody who's willing to make games like from a or make gameplay videos from a mobile device. There's a huge audience there that I think is honestly, in my opinion, kind of underserved in terms of YouTube content. So that could be a road to go down, but I would definitely change the channel name. And it's unless you are reacting to them, in which case, sorry, it just doesn't look like that to me. But then that comes down to thumbnails and titles and things like that.
Dan, add 1 more fire emoji to your name because you are scorching. But unfortunately, we have to douse the fire because we are out of time. But just one more time, let's have a comical 3 image where Alexei's just like somebody should quickly screenshot that and turn it into some sort of meme. But anyway, thank you very much for watching the vidIQ channel audit live stream this week. We hope you have learned something valuable from all of the channels we have covered. I do want to say thank you very much to the anonymous $20 donation to the COVID-19 Solidarity Response Fund. That was very much appreciated. And we'll say some goodbyes now, starting with Dan, who's completely disappeared off the screen. I mean, I'd have to raise my desk up a little bit to do that as well. And I'm worried I'm going to break it. Ooh. Oh, yeah, my camera's there. Watch, I can disappear like that. Oh, and that's caused one of my screens to break. Oh, I shouldn't do that.
Oh, my gosh.
Right. We're saying goodbye, Dan. Who are we saying goodbye to?
Oh, I don't know. How about we say goodbye to... Every time I think I'm going to look at a name, it disappears. Egg Keg Films. Dr. Nura. Maybe I'm saying that wrong. I don't know. Our community manager, Daniel, is here. Goodbye to you.
Big shout out. By the way, Daniel's another one who's at Vid Summit. So he's found time to watch a live stream and support us. So big applause to you there. Thanks, Daniel, for your assistance, as always.
Yeah, Minecraft Transformers, and we'll say goodbye to Code with Samuel.
Alexei, have you got a chat up, or do you want me to bring some up for you to say goodbye to?
Yeah, it's if you can bring some up. I mean, I'm seeing some names there. So, Exotic, The Fasting Dad, goodbye, bye to you. Jay the King, have a nice rest of the day. Kid Gaming Shorts, bye-bye. Zenzarius, our guy. Hey,
our guy, yeah, moderator extraordinaire as always.
Yeah,
and the final one here for you, Alexei. You're saying goodbye to
Ryan McGregor. Have a nice day.
Ryan McGregor. I'm going to say goodbye to Dofar Karif. Hope I pronounced your name correctly there. Also, goodbye to say your name, Amin Wakas. I'm going to pronounce that as Sidestick Aviation Channel. Goodbye to you. And last, and today, least, Ben729 Gaming. The reason you're least is because you have a name that I will not remember in 40 minutes because it's got some numbers in it. Alexei, it's been a pleasure, as always, to have you on. You are more than welcome to come back. So we hope to see you very, very soon. Do remember, folks, that now we bring channel audits to a conclusion, we do still have many, many tools that will help you grow your channel, such as the channel audit tool, competitors, most viewed, and of course, daily ideas. And you can get 40% off right now if you use the link in the description. And the reason I am talking very slowly and deliberately is because I need to find my outro video, which I've just found. So we will see you tomorrow.